Hello, everyone, and good morning. Welcome to our live feed update for April 13th. I'm your host, Taryn Armstrong, and with me today is Mary. How you doing, Mary?
I'm good now. Had some technical difficulties earlier. I don't know what's going on, but we figured it out, so hopefully everybody can hear me now.
Yes, hopefully the audio is fine, because we are here to talk to you about everything that happened yesterday on the Big Brother Canada 7 live feeds. It was day 42 in the house.
Woo!
It's a lot of days. Yeah.
It's just as long as Survivor Australia.
there, there you go.
Season 2, not the other show, the international show. Very confusing now.
Well, Australian Survivor has like 3 episodes a week, so that's basically like Big Brother.
It's like a nice combo, yeah.
Only that they're like 2-hour episodes. It's a lot.
It is a lot. Yeah. Oh gosh. I don't know. Would you rather if all of these Big Brother episodes were 2 hours?
I would say yes, but given how they edit them, I'm not sure they would use those 2 hours to the best effect. So I don't know. Maybe we'll just keep it to the live feeds. All right, let's talk about what happened yesterday on the feeds. It was actually a pretty good day. Lots of stuff going down. Wow, I have a lot of notes. Oh, look at that. All right, so let's get straight into it. So we started the day. Dane was talking to the cameras. So obviously, last night we are coming off of, Mark has won HOH. He was talking about his plan. He wants to put Adam on the block. He's thinking about maybe Damien as well. He hasn't really confirmed anything yet. And so coming into this morning, Dane was very, very annoyed. He's on slop. Dane does not do well on slop, and he's very mad at Mark because Mark is not going after Corey. He's putting up Adam. He thinks this is dumb, and he's very annoyed.
Yeah, I mean, most of my notes in here, you say a lot happened, except pretty much every headline I have is Adam rants about Mark, Dane rants about Mark, everybody's mad at Mark, Anthony pretends to not be mad at Mark. There's a lot of other stuff like that, but Dane, I'm over the Dane being on slop. I'm over him being tired and frustrated. It's just the same thing over and over.
Blah 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 blah. Oh, Mark is like blah 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 blah. Oh my god. Oh. I won one competition. Now I'm a big man on campus. I'm Mark. That's what Dane was doing.
Right. Not like that Dane has been acting like that at all during this whole season. He's definitely kept it nice, cool, calm, and collected.
Yes, very much so. He's very annoyed. He's annoyed that Anthony is protecting Corey.
I'm sorry. This isn't going to make any sense for the people who are only listening to this on an audio podcast. Get out of here, please. It's fine. All right, I'm sorry, everyone. I broke Taryn. I'm at my parents' house. My dad is crawling around on the floor trying to fix the lighting. So I'm using his computer. It's already a problem.
Yeah. So he's mad at Anthony for trying to protect Corey. He thinks Corey should be targeted. Yeah, Dane very, very mad, Mary.
Yep. I'm sorry, I'm just as lost as you are.
Yeah.
Yeah, Dane's upset.
Yes, okay, so Dane is going to... Sorry, that was just very funny because he thought he was just... He thought he was hidden, but he wasn't.
He wasn't. Yeah,
I'm so sorry. All right.
The professionalism on this podcast is amazing already today.
Okay, so Dane is gonna go and talk to Mark after after his rant to the cameras, and he's going to once again pitch that Corey should be the target. That Corey is the dangerous one, the threat to the pretty boys. It only makes sense that Corey should be targeted here. It was really funny because as I was writing these notes, I turned on the feeds for this morning, and they were in the exact same position. Dane was wearing the exact same hoodie, and he was having another morning conversation with Mark this morning about the same thing. And so, but yesterday morning, Mark was not super into it. He does not really want Corey to be targeted. He feels like Corey is good for his game, and so it's a no-go for now. But Dane is really pushing this idea.
Yeah, and I mean, a lot of it depends on like what Mark's real opinion is, what he really wants to happen. Because if he ever does, whether it be this week or another week, decide that, you know what, I do want to get Adam out or I do want to get Dane out, he's going to probably need Corey to be there to be a vote for him anyway.
Yes, so not into it. And so what he is into is putting Adam on the block, and so he's going to talk to Adam, and Anthony is there as well, and he's basically letting Adam know, I gotta put one of the guys on the block. I gotta do that. And Adam's like, why?
Yeah. It's not just that I gotta put one of the guys up. I gotta put you up though.
Yeah,
it's for the story. It's just for the story.
Yeah, it's because we have to craft a narrative, Adam, where we have to make sure that nobody knows that we're working together. This will hide the pretty boys, and it makes sense because you and Sam put me on the block, and then you didn't use the veto on me. And Adam is just like, no. Like,
Yeah.
that doesn't make what a story. What are you talking about? I should not be on the block. That doesn't make any sense. I don't like it. What happens if I stay on the block? The house could turn on me. We only have 2 votes. And Mark is like, nah, that wouldn't happen. And he's like, what do you mean that wouldn't? You can't promise that. And Mark is like, well, hey, house could have turned on me when I was on the block, but guess who didn't use the veto on me? You. Adam's just like, oh my god, that was not up to me. I was not HOH. I did not put you on the block. Sam put you on the block. If I won HOH, I would not be putting you on the block. He's like, look, all I can say is that you had the veto, you could have saved me, and you didn't. And Adam is just like, oh my god, I'm done with this right now.
Yeah, Adam, he's just like, he makes sense because Mark is not handling this in the correct way. Mark's not making a correct move here. But it's frustrating when he can't even understand that, like, this is how your side piece can come back to haunt you, because you're going to be seen as connected to them, whether or not you made that move or not, technically.
Yeah, and Mark is like very bitter. He's like, I have a theory about Mark. We'll elaborate over the course of the day here, but I think that he is, he's somebody. He's Mark. He has conversations with Kiki where Kiki stomps all over him, and then he saw Anthony, and Anthony is an alpha bro. Anthony is confident, and he states what he wants, and he doesn't get walked all over. And so Mark is like, I want to be more like Anthony, so all I have to do is be more confident and not let people walk all over me. And so like he's just like, he's acting like he's Anthony, and one of the ways he feels like he can act like Anthony is be like, hey, I was walked all over that week and I let it happen, but no more. I'm not going to be walked all over. I'm going to get back at you for putting me up there and letting me stay up there like I was some disposable pawn. I'm gonna get you out, Adam. But he's not saying that, but he's saying, I'm gonna put you up, Adam. And so this is how he feels like he's gonna come off as like, yeah, I'm gonna be a man. I'm gonna be confident like Anthony. And it just doesn't come off that way.
No, it doesn't. And this is what happens when it's 42 days in the game and you can't try to change your whole perception just based off of one win and one HOH. Anthony's built up this nice long thing of being this sort of controlling, beast-like creature, and then that he's got his people and that he's really running the house, and it's great. And for us, he's the villain, and it's a much better look than Mark, who's been over here, you saying big words, but not really doing anything with it.
So Mark is going to go talk to Corey. He lets her know, I'm putting Adam up. Corey says, that makes sense because you two have never worked together.
Yeah.
Perfect sense.
Right. Right.
Mark lets her know his ideal final five, and I think he's telling the truth here, is himself, Anthony, Corey, Esty, and Kira.
Right.
It's not a bad final five.
No, it's not. I mean, to get to that final five, he does actually have to take Adam and Dane out. He can't just sort of mess around with it.
Because in this final five, Corey is probably the biggest threat, quote unquote. Mark would probably have the easiest time winning any mental competitions, and there are two goats there for him to take to the end. And so, it's not a bad final five, but as you said, he has to actually be able to get Adam and then Dane out of the house somehow. And not only that, but he has to kind of do it without being the only person that does it in some ways, because they'll be super bitter about him taking them out if he just does it on his own. I think his goal here is to try and get the pretty boys on board and to get the votes there to evict Adam so that it's not just him going rogue. And so he's trying to find a way to just kind of, again, Matt Hoffman Adam out of the game, and then
so we're just running with Matt Hoffman. That's going to be the term we're going to use. Okay.
Well, yeah. What else do you want to call it?
I mean, no, I guess that works. That's fine. It's just not quite the same because Matt Hoffman was out, in a little bit different of a time frame and for different reasons. But
well, he was part of the brigade, and then they were like, "Hey, this guy, he's too good. We got to get rid of him." And so they Hoffmaned him.
Okay, I think that better. Hoffman. Let's just go with that then.
All right. Yeah. So he's hoping to Hoffman Adam, and that's his goal here. I do think his final five is this idea of him, Anthony, Corey, Esty, and Kira. And during this conversation with Corey, Adam stomps in to the HOH room, and by stomps in I mean he comes in and kind of walks a little bit briskly, grabs his water bottle and then leaves. And Corey is appalled. Offended.
The way you hear Corey, he burst in the room, didn't even look at us, just walked and pushed those doors open. The audacity! How dare he?
We should have had him come back in appropriately.
Appropriate. Yeah, I love Corey, the mom/teacher. It's my favorite look.
Anthony is going to join the conversation. Then it's just going to be Anthony and Mark, and Anthony is pushing more toward the idea of, well, why don't we just do Damien and Esty together and just pretend we're backdooring Adam? That can be our story. Mark says no. I'm not gonna be stepped over. This is my plan, my idea, and Adam deserves to be on the block for what he did. He needs to be punished. And just wait. We need to test him. We need to see if Adam blows up. We need to see it. And I think this is what he's hoping, is that he'll put Adam on the block. Adam will blow up. It'll show the other pretty boys who have been talking about Adam as a liability for so long that Adam is a liability, and maybe they should just quietly send him out the door. So he's saying, well, let's see how he acts when he's on the block.
Remember, he's like, yeah, and if he's good to us, if he's nice and good this week, then we can decide to keep him, the three of us right here. But otherwise, we might decide that he's not good for us.
Yes, he also says that if Damien or Adam come down, he'll just put up Esty. He will keep Corey safe. And Anthony says, you know what? I'm on board. That's fine. One thing with Adam on the block, I'll have to make a final three with Corey and Adam, just to make sure Adam has the votes.
Right.
Mark is like, okay. Okay. I want Adam out. I want Adam out, not more aligned with other people, but okay.
If this was a cartoon, it would be like, they have this conversation, the whole thing, yeah. And then right as Anthony's walking out the door, he'd be like, yeah, but by the way, just in case, I might just also make a final deal with him. Okay, bye, thanks. Just throwing that out there.
Well, it is a cartoon in the sense that like Mark thinks that he's like, you know, slamming the hammer down on the cartoon mouse or whatever, but every time he does it, it only makes the mouse stronger. Like this is only helping Adam in the game, and it's only hurting him. So Adam is going to go to Dane. He's complaining to Dane. It doesn't make sense. Why is he putting me up on the block? It should be Corey. Dane says, I completely agree. Dane goes and talks to Mark. Dane tells him the plan. Adam should go up on the block. Dane says, okay, but remember, if the veto is won, we should come back together and think about our options. Keep our options open. Mark says, okay. You know, I don't really want to do Corey, but I'll give you that. We'll talk about it. Dane is very he really wants to push for this, and he needs to find an in, and he's really just hammering away at this.
Yeah, luckily, you know, Dane's relationship with Mark is a little better because Mark's, you know, whereas Adam is you know, blowing up and getting all mad. Dane knows how to handle himself. You know, last week he said, fine, put me on the block. It's okay. I know I'm safe. I'll do it for you. And Adam's not giving him the same respect. So he at least listens to Dane occasionally.
Yes, and Dane is better about it too. Where like Dane is like, look, I'm all for Mark. I'm on Team Mark. I want to do what you want to do. I just feel like the smarter move for me that I think it is Corey. I think that she's the bigger threat. And Mark is like, yeah, I don't know. And he's like, look, you know, and I'm totally on board. I just think that we should maybe reconvene. Talk about it again. Think about it some more if the veto is won. And so he is more diplomatic. Yes, for sure. Mark is going to talk with Kira. And this is going to be a disastrous conversation. This is I talked about most of these conversations yesterday, just in a lot less detail. Mark lets Kira know he wants to put Adam on the block. He wants to target Adam, and Kira's like, "What? Why? Oh my God, Mark! What? Why would you do that? Adam is by himself, and there's a whole group of other people in this house that are working together." And Mark says, "Look, Adam, he put me on the block last. He basically put me on the block. He didn't use the veto on me." And Kira's like, "That's not true at all. Adam fought so hard for you. He didn't want you on the block. The only reason he didn't use the veto is because Sam didn't let him." And Mark is like, "Oh, Sam didn't let him. So no, he could have used that veto if he wanted to." And Mark he's very much like hammering home this idea that Adam should have protected him, and Kira is saying, "That's so dumb. He was trying to protect you. You sound like you're going off your ego, and that you're bitter right now." And Mark is like, No, that's not what's happening. No, it's not. I'm not bitter. This is a smart move. This is me taking control of my own destiny, writing my own pages for the future. And Kira's like, "No, you sound like an idiot." And this is absolutely not going how Mark thought it would go. Mark thought this was like, like, okay, here's my master stroke. He clearly thought he could get Kira to evict Adam, and he's just like run into a brick wall, and he's like, wow, this is not what I wanted.
Yeah, and it's just so hard to listen to on both sides, because like neither of them are really right. And I would have loved to see, you know, because if we remember, every time Kira was on the block, like, you know, if their ally won the power of veto, I'm sure Kira would have been completely fine and understood that it would have been fine not to take them off, and that they could just sit there. And I just imagine if the role was reversed, if Kira would feel the same way.
Well, that's what Kira even said. Like, Adam put me on the block. He actually put me on the block, and I understand. Why can't you understand? He legitimately was fighting so hard for you, and we were like, these guys must be working together, because that's what Esty and Kiki were telling us, and he was fighting so hard to keep you, and like he was doing everything in his power, and you just seem like a bitter asshole right now, Mark. That's what it seems like, and that's what it seems like, Mark. That's kind of what it seems like.
I think Kira needs to go out of the room and come back in and try this conversation again appropriately.
Yeah. This is again, like, Mark had it in his head that like this was gonna be his master stroke, that he was gonna put Adam on the block, he was gonna convince I think this is what it was in his head. Who knows? Maybe we'll see something different in the diary room. But I think he thought that he was going to put Adam on the block, and then Adam was going to freak out, and he could then be like, hey, Kira, here we go. Time to take out Adam. I'll have you all to myself. Hey, pretty boys, Adam is such a liability. You've been complaining to me about him for so long. Here's my chance to step up and be a man like Anthony. And just like every time he tried to talk to somebody about getting Adam out, they were like, yeah, but no.
Yeah, he got the part about Adam freaking out right, but he didn't realize that that was going to come off as sympathetic to everyone else and that he was just going to look like a lunatic for doing this.
Yeah. So, not going well. Mark is going to talk to Adam and confirm to him that he is putting him on the block, and he just keeps going on and on and on. And it's the worst reasoning that, hey, it's because you left me on the block when Sam was HOH. So that's why. That's why this is happening. And so then Adam's like, well, what do you mean? That's such a dumb reason. You're getting back at me because your feelings are hurt or whatever. And Mark is like, no. This is about the story. This is about telling story that the storyline makes sense because you didn't take me down with the veto, that I'm striking back at you and the guys aren't working together. And Adam just thinks this is super dumb and he hates it.
Yeah, the number of times that Adam said this day, I'll give him an effing story if this is what he wants for a story. I'm just over it.
That's yes.
That.
So he goes and complains to Anthony about it, and he says, "Oh, I need to go up for the story. I'll give him a story. I'll give him a story." And Anthony's like, "Yeah, give him a story." And Anthony like tries to coach him through like what to say to Mark. Like, okay, this is what you need to say. When Sam was HOH, she put you on the block, and look, I fought really hard for you to not go on the block, but you did go on the block, and then I won the veto and I wanted to use it on you, but I couldn't, and so you stayed up on the block. But guess what? You stayed with a 5-1 vote because I was fighting really hard for you to stay, and so now you're coming after me. Guess what it'll be like when I'm fighting for you to leave, Mark. Boom.
Boom. Story.
And Adam is trying to repeat it back. He's like, okay, here's what. So I fought for you to stay, and now I'll fight for you to leave. And Anthony's no. You have to go through the story. You have to go through it slowly.
Remember, day one, walk into the house, look and fly.
Yes.
Remember, you got to put the story together.
So he does that, and then Anthony also says, so here's what we need to do. If you stay on the block, we need to make a final 3 with Corey. And I was like, make a final 3 with Corey? I don't know about that. And he's like, okay. But
Anthony's just, I got to get this final 3 with Corey. I got to get everybody on board. So by the time that Corey's still there, I can say, well, we made a final 3 with Corey. Remember?
Anthony, of course, this is his in to try to get Adam on board with keeping Corey around if he feels safe with Corey. So Anthony says to Adam, you need to go to Corey and you need to pace back and forth in front of her, like, oh, I'm so pissed, and then go and then you talk to her and you be like, oh, I'm so pissed at Mark. He's putting me on the block. I fought to protect him and now he's putting me on the block. And I just want to say I'm sorry, Corey. I had my head up my butt the whole week with Sam and I was obsessed with her and I was being dumb, but now I understand that I can't trust anybody in the house. I'm close with Dane, but I can't even trust him. Only you and Anthony, only you two have been straight with me. I can only trust you guys. So whatever. And so Adam's like, oh, all right, I'll go do that. And he's like, no, show me how you're gonna do it. And he's like, I'm pissed at everyone. He's like, no, you're smiling, no smiling. You're mad. It's like, chill. I'm mad.
Well,
He's like, good.
Anthony, the improv teacher, is so great too.
Yes.
So many sides of people.
So Adam, he goes to talk to Corey, but he doesn't find her immediately. And in the meantime, Dane is going to have a brief conversation with Anthony. He wonders, hey, should we use the veto on Adam if we win it? Anthony says, yes. And you know what? We can get anyone to use the veto on Adam. And Dane's like, I don't think Esty would. I think Esty wants Adam out. And Anthony's like, no, we can do it. We just have to make a final 3 with her.
Gosh, if Esty somehow used the veto on Adam, I mean, it would be entertaining. Yeah. At that point, say just give the win to Anthony. He's
Mm.
got it. If you can get her to do that, go ahead.
Yes. So Adam goes to talk to Corey, and he does exactly what Anthony just told him to do. He storms into the room. He's like, I'm pissed. I'm pissed. I can't believe Mark. I protected him, and now he's putting me on the block, and I can't trust anyone except for you and Anthony. And you know, I'm close with Dane, but I can't even trust him. I expect everyone to stab me in the back at this point, and I'm just so mad. I'm so pissed right now. And Corey is just eating this up, like, oh, Adam, you know, here, you know, this is what you need to do. I'm a master of the game, somebody who excelled at their HOH week. Let me give you some advice on how to operate in the house. And you know, so they have this whole conversation. It's word for word. I was tweeting this out. Anthony gave him the script. He read the script out to Corey, and it was crazy. I've never seen somebody just give scripts to other house guests that they just follow word for word. It's nuts.
Just imagine if they were allowed to have paper and pencil in this house. Anthony could just write out a whole story.
It's you know, what are you gonna do? So Dane is gonna have a conversation with Mark, and he lets Mark know, you know, hey, if I win the veto, I'm taking Adam down. And Mark is like, great, love
Perfect.
that, makes sense. He's like, you know, I think this is the right move. You know, we'll see how Adam, you know, reacts. Right, we're gonna wait and see maybe. And Dana's like, nah, I just feel like we should have been going after Corey, but that's fine. I just feel like Corey is the only one threatening us right now, and that you know, I don't know if Corey even wants you in the final five, Mark. I know she wants me. I know she wants Kira. I don't know if she wants you. It just leaves one other guy option, and it could be Adam, could be you. So I don't really know, and that makes her very dangerous. And Mark tries to tell Dane that, you know, well, Kira doesn't want you in the final five. And Dane's like, no. I got Kira. And Mark is like, oh, I don't think so. And he's like, no. Right before Sam was evicted, she sat Kira and myself and Adam down and said, you guys need to get over your differences and work together. And so Kira is acting like they're not good with me right now to everyone else to make it seem like we're not that close, but we're actually, you know, kind of working together at this point. And Mark is like, oh, no, that does. I mean, I don't know. That's not what they're telling me. And Dane's like, yeah, exactly. That's the plan. And he's like, oh, well, I mean, I don't know. I'd still be suspicious. It's like, no, this is the person I've been working on. They haven't been telling me things.
Not only that, it's like Mark has such a wrong read on Kira, and then finding out that anyone else has a correct read, it's just his whole worldview. It's so sad. I just love picturing how these past 42 days have gone to Mark's, like, in his mind, and from his point of view. He's sitting along, he's like, audience is gonna love me. I'm gonna make this move. It's gonna be a great story. And then, like, he's partially right in that the audience is like, has just been waiting for him to see if he can get some power and then make a move that's gonna mess up his game but be incredibly entertaining. So it's like, yeah, he is seeing that picture, but the part that he's missing is that he's not like a hero in it. He's more like a bumbling fool. It's entertaining.
Yeah, it's his whole world is coming down around him right now, and he's literally trying to just like stand there and be like, this is fine. I'm still a lion. I'm a lion. I'm not gonna let anyone tread on me because I'm a snake lion. And so,
sure, he's not a Pumbaa.
Yeah. Or Timon. You know, hey, the new movie's coming out. So Corey is gonna have a conversation with Anthony where she tells him, hey, I had a really good talk with Adam. And Anthony's like, oh, really?
Oh, really?
Tell me about it.
Gold star to Adam for following the script.
And so then Corey starts telling Anthony about how Adam came to her saying that he's pissed at everyone and that he wants, he's so mad at Mark because he worked so hard to protect Mark. Now Mark's coming after him, and now he can't trust anyone except for Corey and Anthony. And, you know, he's close with Dane, but he can't even trust Dane, expects everyone to stab him in the back. And again, Anthony gave Adam marching orders. He gave him a script. Adam went to Corey, said the script exactly. Corey came back to Anthony, repeated the words that Anthony gave to Adam back to him, and Anthony is like, whew, that's perfect. I love that. Corey, you're so good at this game. Corey shreds. This is perfect for us. Now we can keep Adam, right? This is perfect because Adam will go after Mark. Mark will go after Adam. It leaves us sitting pretty. We don't have to expose any of our cards. Hey, lift up that rug right there. Lift up that rug. Sweeping it away. Oh, yeah. They love sweeping things under the rug or whatever.
The metaphor is a little lost on me, but watching Anthony just play this game with himself is great.
This is basically, he's like playing chess with himself. He's like, all right, no, you do this move, and then I'm gonna do this move. Boom, I win. Hey, who knew?
I'm okay with it, you know.
and Corey's just so proud of herself. It's so sad to see.
Yeah. I mean, the only problem is if Anthony doesn't get to the end somehow, it's just like, I just imagine Anthony being on the jury and Corey being up there spouting out all of these things as if they were Corey's ideas when really they were Anthony's. Like, that would be infuriating.
Anthony has such an influence on people. He makes them think they're lions. And you know what? Not everyone should think they're a lion. In fact, probably most people shouldn't think they're a lion. You're a human.
Yeah, let's get rid of it. But the movie's coming out, so
that's true.
so
that's true.
fine.
We're gonna get a whole influx of kids who are like, "Hey, I'm a lion," and we're gonna be like, "Anthony, no."
No.
So
He should get a partnership or some kind of deal with them. Yeah.
Yeah, I was watching the challenge, and there's a person on the challenge named Bear, who called himself a lion. I was like, whoa! Him and Anthony went to the same lion school, I guess.
You would think that you would just call yourself a bear, but maybe it gets old.
You would think. Right. All right, so Mark is going to take Damien to Wendy's, and he's going to have William as his server. I assume this is Big Brother Canada 5 William and not Big Brother Canada 6 Will. I believe it is William.
Yeah, but by the Arissa way of speaking of calling Kiki Kira W, you can never be too sure.
It's true. And I look, Mark, he loves Kevin. Maybe William, at least as close as he could get.
I don't know. Do you think they handpick these Wendy's people depending on who's HOH?
No.
Okay. Didn't think so.
So apparently during Wendy's, Mark let Damien know that he is going to be going up on the block next to Adam, and Damien is not happy. Damien was under the assumption, because his conversation with Mark said, I'm not inclined to put you on the block. Mark's conversation with Esty was, I might put you on the block. And so Damien thought that Esty was probably going to be the person that went up as the pawn and not him, and he was not happy to hear that it was him. In fact, he at a couple of points throughout the day was like, what did Esty say to Mark to get out of this? What did she do?
We don't need any added benefits to these guys for their poor gameplay. Don't break up Damien and Esty. It's the only hope I have left.
Well,
Damien.
Adam talked to Damien. They commiserated together. Adam would love for both of them to stay. And Adam says, it's so much for the boys thing, right? Jeez. And Damien is like, seriously, because here's something that happened the night before. Right before Damien went to bed, he stopped in to the HOH, and he was like, we'll talk tomorrow, but I just was thinking about something. And Mark was like, hey, just tell me now. He's like, no, we'll talk about it tomorrow. And Mark was like, no, you have something to say. Let me know. He was like, I was kind of thinking like guys thing, like Final Five, like we could make it like an official kind of deal. And Mark was like, no, that would be really bad for us though, don't you think? If we got to the end with those other three guys, like that'd be bad for us. We wouldn't be able to beat them. And Damien was like, yeah, I guess so. like very sad. And so Damien says to Adam, yeah, I approached Mark about it last night, but I got the sense that Mark does not feel like he wants to go to the end with the guys. And this should be maybe setting some light bulbs off in Adam's head, maybe a little bit, but not too much, because it's the story. So that happened.
I mean, all they had to do is just Adam's just sitting there going, man, if I could go back to day one, if I could have asked Damien to be the fourth in this alliance instead of Mark.
Adam absolutely wants that. Adam has been advocating to bring Damien in as the fifth for a long time. Crazy.
Gosh.
Damien talks to Dane and Esty. He says, Dane, obviously I'm going to pick you to play in the veto. You'll use it on me. And Dane's like, oh, yeah, of course. Yeah, definitely. And then he's going to go and talk to Esty alone and be like, I don't want to play in the veto. Esty's like, yeah, you can't win it. You can't win it and then use it, because then I'll go up.
Right.
He's like, yeah, exactly. That's definitely what I'm trying to avoid.
Yeah. I mean, I want to see the internal struggle of Dane somehow trying not to win a competition. I think that would be really fun. I think we could get some good diary room voiceovers of that competition. So I'm okay with it. I don't know. I feel like at this point, Dane's trying to reshift things. I think he should be trying to keep Esty more than he is. Like, I think he could be trying to protect her more than he's actively doing, but I'm just trying to protect my stock. Look, I switched everything from Mark to Esty, so...
Oh, that's rough.
It's fine. It's fine. I'm just trying to cover my own losses here.
Yeah. Well, Well, Dane is doing a decent job. He is trying to get Corey on the block, and so that's good. But yeah, I don't know if Esty's stock is going up anytime soon.
No. Yeah, but if Mark goes down at all, that would be helpful. Then I at least could justify it to myself.
Yeah. So Dane he's still working on this plan to get Corey up on the block, but we'll see. Adam is gonna get into it with Mark again in the kitchen, and Adam is just like, why are you doing this? Why are you doing this, Mark? Nobody agrees with this plan. Anthony's against this plan. Dane is against this plan. I'm against this plan. You just unilaterally decided, oh, I'm going to put up Adam. And Mark is like, what? No, that's not what it was. He's like, yeah, it was. You just told me what was happening. There was no discussion. You just told me you're going on the block. And Mark was like, you weren't in the mood for a discussion, clearly. And Adam's like, yeah, because it wasn't a discussion. You were just telling me that I was going on the block. And Mark just cannot take the heat here. Anytime Adam says something that Mark doesn't have a response to, he's like, I'm just done with this conversation. I'm not even gonna respond to that question. And Dane is there trying to keep the peace a little bit. Look, everything will be fine. Everything will be fine. Let's just wait until after the veto. We'll all come together and discuss. That we're going to go and backdoor Corey. That's what we're going to discuss and decide. That's what I'm still focused on. Let's work toward that goal. So Adam's like, you know what, Mark? You would have been gone. You would have been gone if it wasn't for me. Kira would have voted you out. They wanted you gone. I convinced them to keep you. And Mark is like, well, yeah, but Kira could have voted me out. And Adam's like, yeah, until I convinced him not to. And he's like, well, but I was only on the block because you didn't use the veto on me. And he's like, oh my God. You would not be here if not for me. You wouldn't even have been in that position where you were safe. And I wouldn't, if I had won, I wouldn't have put you on the block. And Mark keeps bringing it back to you not using the veto on me was asinine. I'm just like, I would not have put you on the block. And Mark says, that's because it doesn't fit your storyline to do that. And Adam says, you know what? F your storyline. I don't care. And Mark is just like, wow, you know what? I would never have said F your storyline, Adam. You didn't hear me saying F your storyline when you didn't use the veto on me. such a dumb conversation. I don't know what Mark is thinking.
No, nothing at this point. He's messed up. He came in thinking, I've got all these votes. We're gonna get Adam out. No, it didn't happen. Even the ones you probably could have potentially gotten him out, it's got to be whatever Anthony's agenda is. You needed to convince Anthony, and since that didn't happen exactly, although to be fair, Anthony is kind of just sitting every time Mark comes in the room. Anthony's like, "Oh yeah, that was great. Yeah, it was be a tough guy, maintain your tough guy act. Corey thought it was hot. Yeah, the way you were talking."
Yes.
Stop.
Yeah. So Anthony, Adam, and Dane do talk a little bit like Mark is he's gone rogue. He's making decisions without us. That's not good. Anthony says, "Let me handle it. I'll make sure to punish him. I'll make sure to put him in his place. Make sure he knows he shouldn't be making decisions without us." He doesn't actually do that.
No, of course not. Anthony just wants everybody to love him, so he's got to say the right things.
He's the enforcer that doesn't enforce. Dane is going to talk to Mark briefly before the nominations. Mark is like, I mean, I know you want to win the veto and use it on Adam, but maybe you shouldn't win the veto. Maybe that would be a good idea to not try and win the veto and then subsequently use it on Adam. I don't know. Maybe it's not best for your game to win the veto because maybe I don't want Adam to come down. And so then the feeds go down for nominations, and Mark nominates Adam and Damien. And I'm pretty sure during the veto ceremony, Adam, I don't know if he did Anthony's speech or what he did, but he yelled at Mark again. And Mark was like, "No, you can't yell at me. I'm a big man." And stuff like that.
Take a drink every time on the episode that they say the word storyline.
Yes. Feeds come back from nominations, and Mark seems like a beaten man. He's defeated,
sad.
Disappointed.
Yep.
He's talking to the cameras like, "This is nuts. This is nuts like coconuts and celery," or whatever he says. And he says, "How am I going to play this week out? I don't know. I might just have to ride with the pretty boys until the end." Damn. Adam, you don't scare me, even though I clearly seem very scared in this moment, and I just randomly brought up that you don't scare me right after I conceded my plan that I wanted to do, but you definitely don't scare me, Adam. I'm not, just because you're big and atomy. Not scared of you.
Nope.
I say to the cameras
I'm
myself.
a lion. I swear I'm a lion.
I'm a lion. Camera, you see. I'm a lion. Oh, hey, Adam. I didn't want you out. What are you talking about? Yeah.
Yeah.
Seems like point is, seems like Mark is backing down. He seems like Mark has realized.
And always back down after you nominate someone and get yelled at and find out that there's no way to get the person out. That's when you back down.
Seems like he realized that things are not going particularly well with his plan. I can't say for sure what his plan is, because no matter what his plan was, it was asinine. But whatever his plan was, it definitely seems to have failed. He seems to have realized that it cannot succeed. I think maybe it was that Kira was not on board at all, that Anthony does not seem on board. Dane does not seem on board. Nobody seems on board. And so without anybody on board, he can't really do it unless he tries to like do a backdoor play, which, you know, would be even worse for his game. So he's kind of realizing that he might not be able to make this happen, and maybe his best option is sticking to the pretty boys.
Yeah, I mean, if he had put two pretty boys up, at least they probably would have fought against each other, and there might have been some fracture there. But, you know, with Mark's luck, the third pretty boy would just win and take them down, and it doesn't matter.
Yes. So to recap, by the way, Mark, in his HOH week, has failed to take his shot at the pretty boys and succeeded in pissing off all of the pretty boys and pissing off Damien, his only other real relationship outside of the pretty boys, and pissing off Kira, the other person he was working on a relationship with outside of the pretty boys. Oof.
Yeah, because I mean, it's we shouldn't fail to mention like Damien was blindsided about being put up. Damien
Mm-hmm.
did not see that coming, was very upset about it, crying through his frosty probably, and it's just really not is not good for Mark.
Mm.
Could have come in here, could have put up Corey and Esty. Dane would have been happy. Dane would have been all on board.
And hey, if Dane manages to convince Mark to actually backdoor Corey, then he'll manage to piss off the one remaining person he hasn't pissed off yet, Anthony.
Yeah, win-win. Let's just
Yay!
see how much Mark can go down. Like I said, I just need Mark's stock to go down, so I'm okay with whatever happens at this point.
It's almost like I've allowed shorting to happen. All right, so Anthony has a conversation with Mark, which is only going to further solidify the idea that this is just not going to work to get Adam out. They talk about how great it is that nobody can come even close to thinking the guys are working together. They say, all the heat is off of Dane. This is wonderful. I love that we're protecting Dane so much. Anthony tells Mark to, and you said this, hey, Mark, keep up with the tough guy act. And Mark says, it's not an act. It's not an act. It's an act. It's an act. It's completely an act. Everyone sees it's an act. Except for Mark, who thinks that it's working.
Mark needs to go to Anthony's acting school.
Like, Mark heard the phrase, fake it till you make it. And he really just took that very literally. And he definitely hasn't made it yet.
Nope.
No.
I'm sorry. I'm still just thinking about Corey saying, yeah, that was hot, the way Mark was acting.
Yeah, earlier in the day, when Mark was like, I want to get Adam out, Corey was like, oh, you're turning me on. By the way, because Corey's another person that's trying to emulate Anthony, and that's something that Anthony said a few weeks ago in a room with Corey there. So now Corey is emulating that behavior, and not only emulating that, like that phrase itself, but the behavior that supposedly turns them on is the behavior that has that Anthony has been telling them they need to emulate. You need to be a lion, and that turns you on, and we're alphas. Me and my bros, we're all alphas.
Next week, when Esty is somehow gets under Anthony's thumb, and she's walking around talking about how she's a lion, and then we've just not whole house. It's a house full of lions.
Yes. She'll turn everyone on. So Anthony says, "Hey, don't worry about the vote. I have everyone. Adam will be safe." And Mark is like, "Yep." And hopefully Adam pulls himself off, but even if he doesn't, that's fine. Mark is like, well, what about, Esty wouldn't vote Damien out, right? She'd vote Adam out. And Anthony's like, nah, I can get her to vote against him. That's fine. Mark's like, all right. Yep. That's cool. All right.
Yep.
All right. So that's really like that's one story from the day. It's the Mark and Adam thing, but there's more. There's another story.
Sure, the real important one, the one that the show is trying to distract us with.
Yes, I call this story "Adam Searches for Clues." Adam, he's playing around in the archive room. He's looking around, looking in some boxes. And then suddenly, he finds a small little yellow box. Oh, where did this box come from, you might ask? Production probably put it there. Or maybe Marsha the Moose put it there. You never know. He opens the box, and in the box, he finds a small little flashlight. What does this flashlight do, you might ask? What could you possibly need a flashlight for? The lights are incredibly bright in that house. But it's not just a regular flashlight. It's a blacklight flashlight.
Oh.
Ooh. Using this blacklight flashlight, he reveals a message in the box that tells him about a game-changing secret that he must find in the archive room. He's called to the diary room. What is this, Mary? What's happening? Find out next time. Next time on Adam Searches for Clues. I'm Dane, and I need to know what's happening with Adam. Why is he called to the diary room? Why was he just in the archive room? I don't like this. Da-na-na.
This has got to be the second or third time this season that Dane sees something happen, just runs around yelling at everyone saying, Adam's done it, Adam's got a clue, Adam got something, and then he's like, oh shoot, never mind, hold on, wait, maybe. Sorry, Adam, I might have just run around telling everybody that you had something special or did something.
Yes. So Dane runs to Esty. He's like, something's going on. He's searching the archive room, and he can't find the tape recorder that he apparently found a couple of days ago and didn't tell anyone about except for Esty. And so he runs to Esty and says, the tape recorder's gone. Adam was just called to the diary room. He's in there going back and forth like, something's going on. And he runs and he just plots himself down and says, I'm just going to wait right here for Pikes to come out of there. And I'm going to find out what's happening. There's no way I'm letting somebody else get this. And so Adam comes out of the diary room. Dane's like, what's happening? What's going on? Why are you calling to the diary room? And I was like, what are you talking about? I just needed some cream to put on my arm.
Yeah, conversation. What were you doing? Pooping? What? No, I just need some cream. Oh, that's all? Yeah, they were just asking me about the speech. Mm-hmm. Sure. It's all left up.
Yes. Adam, when holding on to the pipe in that HOH competition, many of them that weren't on it for like 2 seconds injured their arms. And so he's got some cream for the arms. And he's like, just been screaming that. And Dane's like, what about the tape recorder? What'd you do with it? And I was like, tape recorder? What tape recorder? It's like, I found a tape recorder in here a couple days ago, and now it's gone. What'd you do with it? I was like, you found a tape recorder? Why didn't you tell me? Let me look into your eyes a second. All right. You'll get away with this one, Adam. Adam has Kira in the archive room as well. He's like, well, I mean, you found a tape recorder. I'm gonna look around some more, I guess. And Dane's like, all right. I don't feel like looking around in boxes if there's nothing going on. But so he leaves. So then Adam and Kira, they're searching around in the boxes for a little while. Adam's giving smirks to the cameras. And Kira's talking about, like, I can't believe Dane found a tape recorder and didn't tell anyone about it.
Kira's like, it's sketching me out that Dane was so sketched out about this.
Yeah. So eventually Kira leaves, and then Dane comes back and kind of babysits Adam for a little bit longer, and then eventually Adam leaves as well, and there's a little bit of tension for the rest of for a little bit more of the day, where you can tell Adam kind of wants to go back, but Dane is like laying there like watching, like making sure, like, hey, we're all hanging out in the living room together. Nobody wants to go find anything because there's nothing to be found, right? Nothing to be found. So that's going on. Meanwhile, Anthony and Corey are upstairs in the bedroom and hanging out. Anthony's talking about how he can outrun a moose.
Right.
Yes.
Yeah. Anthony very into animals.
Yeah. He's very confident that he could... In a forest? With, like, lots of trees and stuff to, like, jump on and stuff?
Outrun a moose.
Yeah, I could outrun a moose. They eventually get around to their plans moving forward. Corey asks, so if Adam comes down, because Adam winning the veto is best case scenario for us, Adam comes down, Esty goes up. Who do we send home? And Anthony says, Damien. I'm thinking Damien. He's just a bigger threat than Esty. Unfortunately, they both snaked us, and so we might as well just send home the bigger threat. And Corey's like, yeah, it's weird because I don't think Damien even knows that we know about him fake betraying us. I don't think he even knows that we know about the fact that you convinced me that he betrayed us, even though he didn't. I don't think he knows. And Anthony's
why
like,
would he know that?
It's like he keeps acting like he can trust us and that like we can trust them. Little does he know. Um,
Oh my god.
yeah. So Anthony says,
This game is broken, man.
yeah, Anthony says Damien's definitely the one to leave. Damien in a lot of trouble here. Damien looking like he might be going home if he doesn't win this veto. So then they talk more about Adam winning the veto. If they win the veto, they would have to use it on Adam, so they'd prefer to not win the veto. If they don't have to, they'd love for just Adam to win it. And then, Corey starts talking about like the triple. It'd be great if Adam won the triple. He can take out people like Mark and Dane for them. And Anthony's like, yeah, definitely. That's exactly what we want. And then Corey like, well, I mean, we could also win the triple ourselves. And then I guess, thinking about it, I guess if I won the triple, then we would probably take a shot at Adam at that point at the triple, because we don't want him getting further. We don't want Adam in the final 5. He's too good at these competitions. And Anthony's like, yeah, yeah. I mean, I guess so. And she's like, thinking about it now. I mean, if Adam does stay on the block, we should probably just vote him out this week, right? Like, whenever we have our shot, we should probably take it. And Anthony's like, yeah, that makes sense. Just can't think of an argument against that at the moment. So, yep. And then Corey leaves to go to the bathroom, and he's like, F! Ugh! Not happy.
No. Oh well. Who is happy with this day overall? Yes, just Anthony.
Yes. So but this tells us a few things, actually, because Anthony does not talk to the cameras. It tells us that he was genuinely frustrated with Corey's plan to target Adam in the triple eviction, which means Anthony really doesn't want to turn on Adam before the final 5, at least right now. He really does want to protect Adam all the way down to that final 5. He has talked to some other people about maybe we can cut Adam loose, maybe if the thing comes to it. But when it comes down to what he wants Corey to think, he really does want Corey to take Adam down as far as he can. And it also tells us that he is, not as much control over Corey as he wants. After he says F, you can see him in thinking mode, and he's definitely trying to come up with, how do I convince Corey to not go after Adam? So it's interesting. And I think another part of this too is that, like, if this gets out, if people find out that Corey's coming for Adam, then big man Anthony all of a sudden not in control of his side piece, the thing that he's been talking about for so long. Hey, I do my job. This is what I do. Yeah. All of a sudden, you're not doing it as well.
Yeah. No, then he becomes Adam and Corey's Sam, and we know how that turns out.
And in this moment of feeling like he might not have as much control over Corey as he might think, he's gonna go downstairs, and he's already feeling insecure. First, there's a brief conversation with Kira and Adam in the pantry. Adam says, if he goes this week, he goes. Kira's like, no, don't say that, Adam. Oh my God, I'm gonna win the veto, and I'm gonna use it on you if I win. And then, like, wouldn't that be awesome if, like, the weakest player in the game saved the strongest player in the game? Adam, don't give up, please. Again, like, here's that person that, like, you like kind of joke around with them a little bit, and they take it, like, way too seriously, which is gonna be very relevant in the coming conversation. And so they say, if I don't win the game, Adam, I want you to win the game, so you can't go home. And so after Kira leaves the pantry, Adam is like, well, I'm not going to be going home, because I'm going to find the game-changing secret in the archive room. Or I'm going to win the veto, or whatever. I wonder what it is. I hope it's like immunity, or like some sort of power, or hey, maybe the blood veto is back.
It's gonna be a pizza party or something. Stop.
Well, here's the thing. Apparently, the wording was a game-changing secret, which implies that it is a game-related twist. Although my initial guess was just it was Marsha.
So, but like, wasn't it supposed to be a game-changing secret that Sam was like a moderately good liar and
yes,
in like 5 seasons or whatever? That's
a
game-changing secret too.
Very, very true. So yeah, I mean, I doubt it will be something like a blood veto, or I doubt it will be immunity or anything like that, because that was just basically used. It will probably be more something along the lines of the first one. You know, go back and forth maybe. So who knows? Honestly, this, like, for a brief moment, I was like, man, this Marcia task is going to get Adam evicted because Danny's going to be so pissed. Anyway, so Anthony, in this moment of feeling like maybe I don't control Corey as much as I thought I was, maybe you know, that's my whole, that's what makes me a lion. He goes downstairs and Adam's poking fun at him a little bit. It's hey, Anthony and Corey. Anthony and Corey sitting in a tree, Kissing. Oh, Anthony, why are you taking all the cookies, Anthony? Adam is riding high right now. He's got this like secret power, and so he's just like high on life, and he's just like messing around with Anthony. And so Anthony, of course, chirps back, and right. Starts talking about like, whoa, you know, I'm not sucking farts out of people's mouths or whatever. You know, I'm not the one that was obsessed with Sam, following Sam around. Oh, Sam, let me, you know, I never would just like ask for, you know, oh, what can I do for you, Sam? Please tell me. And so then Kira gets involved. Kira tries to kind of step in and defend Adam a little bit. Like, well, Anthony, you've been following Corey around just as much, and we know exactly how Anthony feels about that. What? You two shower together? He didn't say that this time, but he said that last time. And so right. Anthony is like, no, Kira, you have no way you can talk about this. And so Anthony shifts his focus to Kira and starts talking about how they were obsessed and followed around Chelsea and, you know, and Sam, and they're chirping back at each other, chirping back and forth. But anything that happens here with Kira, who takes things too seriously, or with Anthony, who can't lose anything, is destined to become something very uncomfortable.
Yeah, chirp off gone bad, and everybody's just too intense for their own good.
Yes, it gets weird. You know, Anthony starts bringing other people in, like Damien and Esty are sitting there, and he's like, "Oh, Damien, what do you think? Do you think that was Kira following Sam around? How much did you hang out with Kira last week, Damien? Did you hang out with Kira a lot?" And Damien's like, "I mean, I guess not a lot, but Esty, how about you? Did you hang out with Kira?" And it goes too far. It gets weird. Gets uncomfortable, and Kira eventually kind of storms off and starts crying, and it's a whole thing.
Yeah, well, is Kira going to cling to Adam now? I don't know.
That was one of the things. Oh, now you're following Adam around. And
she's like, but I have no one left. And I need to cling to somebody.
Kira's like, I that's not even true. I hung out with you last week so much. So then Kira's gonna go and complain about this whole, you know, situation to various people, like Esty and Adam, and then eventually get back together with Anthony, and they're gonna apologize to each other. And, you know, they say to other people and to Anthony as well, like, you know, the only reason this hurts is because I love you so much and I respect your opinion. And so when somebody I respect is coming at me like that, it's one thing if it had been somebody I don't respect, but because I respect you so much, Anthony, it really hurts. Blah 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 blah. And it's a whole thing.
Did you go to Anthony's acting school? Is that how you learned your Kira impression?
It just came to me. I've been listening to them for so long. I still feel like I felt like I found it at the start of this update, and I was like, wow, this is, I feel good about this. But then I'm trying to replicate it, and I can't remember. So I'm gonna have to go and listen to what I did at the start of the podcast.
Study the tapes. It was good. I think it's good. You found something here.
So Adam, we now bring you back to our scheduled programming. Oh, previously on Adam Searches for Clues. Adam, what's going on? Oh, it was just arm cream. I'm searching for a thing. Secret game-changing power. Now we bring you the latest episode. Adam goes back to the archive room. He doesn't have the flashlight with him though. So I don't know what's going on there. I don't know if he needs the flashlight or if he already used it or what's going on, but he's looking for clues. He's poking the TVs. He's prying out the picture frames. And Big Brother's like, Adam, stop that. He's like, all right, that's fine. And he's looking around, he's looking in some boxes, but I don't know. He seems to be waiting for production to do something. Like he's like, just call me in already. Like I don't know if he doesn't. He's looking around very half-heartedly. Like he doesn't actually expect to find anything in there. I don't know if he's waiting for like a next step.
Yeah, no, Adam is the person in an escape room who just waits until the appropriate amount of time to ask for another hint.
Yeah, I guess so.
He missed the rule where they say you don't need to take picture frames off walls or unscrew light bulbs.
Yeah.
So now he's getting yelled at. Adam trying to figure out his one escape room is hilarious.
Yes. So it's possible that like maybe he needs the blacklight flashlight in order to find the next clue and he doesn't realize that and he'll just be stuck here forever. Or maybe the blacklight thing was just for the initial clue he read and he doesn't need it anymore and he just needs to look for something. Or maybe he needs to wait for production to introduce something else. I don't know. But for right now, this is where this story ends. I don't have a preview for next time because I don't know what's going to come. But maybe we'll find out tomorrow on Adam Searches for Clues.
My money is on it not being a game-changing twist.
All right. We know how good Mary is with money.
Hey, look. I like doubled all of my stock.
Going all in on Esty.
I doubled all my stock switching to Mark last week, so I made another big move.
All right. That's a good one.
I think it'll be fine. It'll be fine. At least I won't lose too much. We'll see.
We'll see.
It's fine. So
this is what it looks like, folks, to lose everything.
Oh my gosh. It's okay. You know what? At least I'm not farting in a jar or whatever they were doing. I bet you loved that. I wrote here, Taryn probably loves the bathroom humor.
Oh yeah. Adam was wanting Dane to do that because apparently they're really bad. We don't need to talk about it. And then finally, before bed, Dane had one more conversation with Mark where, again, he just chips away at Mark's resolve. And he says, Mark, we need to consider what to do with the veto if it's used. I don't think Esty should go on the block. And Mark is kind of like, yeah, you know what? You're probably right. Maybe we should consider Corey. Maybe we should save a little bit of Mary's money and put Corey on the block instead and target her. I don't know. Maybe. And that's how the day ends.
Yeah. That is. I'm reading in the chat. People think that I lost all my money and that's why I came back home. But you know, and if anybody wanted to, my dad is still here. He broke the podcast. Dad. Really did.
I was trying to help. I thought I was helping. I guess I wasn't.
No, he definitely helped.
He said you helped. You made it so much better.
Well, glad I could help there.
Yeah. All right.
That was
right. Follow my dad on social media.
So a couple of things that happened this morning. Dane, again, like I said, had he was in the same hoodie, in the same spot, talking to Mark in the bed at the same exact time. And this morning, today, again, I don't have a detailed conversation for you, but they were talking again about putting Corey on the block. It seems like this idea is further solidifying. Dane is saying what we need to do if this veto is won and used, we need to sit Anthony down and say this is what we need to do. And Mark is like, yeah, okay. So it's looking more and more like Corey might actually get the back door this week. Not looking good for Corey, but it's saving Damien.
Yeah, I'm okay with anything that saves Damien. I'll believe it when I see it. I just feel like Anthony might not let it happen as much. I mean, I don't know exactly what he could do. He hasn't been the best at comp, so I don't think he can do much, but I don't know. It'll be That'll be interesting.
Yeah, I mean, basically what's happened so far is that during Sam's HOH week, there was a proxy war that happened between Dane and Anthony won. He kept Corey safe, and he sent Kiki home. This week, there's another war. It's between Anthony and Dane. This time, it's over Damien's life, and Dane is trying to protect Damien and get Corey out, and Anthony is trying to protect Corey and get Damien out. And so round 2, we'll see if Anthony has the stuff to keep Corey safe once again, or if he'll lose this one and then have to go forward without Corey in the game.
Yeah, in the long run, it might be better to lose Corey to not have the perception that he's trying to save her like Adam was with Sam. But it's 6 of one, half dozen of another.
Yes, because they were talking about like the reason why Anthony wants this is because he can't win competitions. He needs somebody else to win competitions to take us out, and we can't be in the end with Anthony. You know, people are gonna hate me, says Dane. People are gonna hate me. I have to betray Damien. I have to betray Esty. They're gonna be so mad at me. People don't like you, Mark. We've got a chance against each other. Even Adam, people are gonna be mad at Adam, but Anthony, got no blood on his hands. He's never touched the block. He opens his mouth and angels come out. He's too dangerous to take to the final 2. So who knows?
It'll be a long game if Anthony plays this well and then gets cut at the end, but it happens.
Yeah. So veto competition should be today. We'll find out who wins the veto, and then we'll go from there. Mark has backed off from his plan to get rid of Adam, but that doesn't necessarily mean he'll stop trying to convince people to get rid of him. So don't put it completely out of your minds. And Adam is not completely out of the woods yet because, I do think that there's a chance that if Mark actually just comes out and says maybe we should just take Adam out right now, there's a chance he could convince one of the pretty boys, somebody like Anthony. But for now, it's not looking good. And then it just becomes, is it going to be Damien or is it going to be Corey? Who knows? Maybe Damien will win the veto. That'd be interesting.
I have not heard you say that you think Esty's going home, so I'm feeling better about this.
Well, that's true. Esty not looking likely to go home, except for if Damien wins the veto, which is right. If Damien won the veto and Mark decides not to put up Corey, Esty will go up. Esty will probably go home. So she's definitely in some danger as well. But we will find out a lot more about how this week is going to look like after we see the veto play out. So we'll find that out today. And we'll come back tomorrow morning at 11 a.m. Eastern to update you on everything that happens today with the veto and all of that stuff on the Big Brother Canada 7 live feeds. And then tomorrow night, we'll be live to recap the nomination episode of Big Brother Canada 7. And then the night after that, we'll have our Monday roundtable where we will dash Mary's hopes and dreams for Esty's
Stop. Look, I have a vote. 1 percentage point. Esty's getting straight 10s from me this week.
You're just going to invalidate your vote.
No,
it's going to get
I
caught
didn't say that.
by the filter.
You don't know it's me.
All right. So there you go. Thank you everyone for joining us. You can find me on Twitter at Armstrong Taryn. You can find Mary at Frail Mary.
Yes. Hashtag Frail Daddy.
I want to apologize again, especially to the audio listeners for the beginning of this podcast, but it was very funny.
Go back and listen to the first 5 minutes or watch the first 5 minutes of the video. It'll all make sense.
Yes.
If you want to see Taryn just completely fall apart.
It's too much. He thought he wasn't in the shot, but he was. I don't know why that's so funny to me. All right. So thank you once again for joining us. I'll see you next time.
All right. Bye.